What's up, fellow sports fans, and today I've got fire content for you guys. Through the power of data analytics, I'm going to show you guys 5 things you need to master in order to increase your odds of playing in the NBA. This will be a 5-part series, so let's get started. Number 1, understanding your anthropology to find your ideal position. Given your body type that you are born with, what is your ideal position? This is critical to increasing your odds of playing at a high level. Next, Number 2, physical performance. Using the data from NBA Draft Combine, we can use the different physical performance metrics to understand how good you have to be in order to compete at a high level given your position. Next, technical performance. What metrics do you need to master given your position in order to do as good or even better than the people who play in the NBA right now? Number 4, mentors. What leagues, what personal trainers you need to help master your nutrition and your body, what technical trainers you need to help master your technical performance, what camps, colleges, preps, etc. you can participate in to help you meet the people that will help you get to where you want to be. And number 5, online presence. Getting into the NBA, I think, is a combination of performance and popularity. In order to be a pick in the draft, you need to make sure the people who run the NBA, you want to make sure that they know how good you are, how popular you are, and the potential of how popular you'll be able to get. Why this is because your fans are the ones that will be buying jerseys, buying tickets, and making the purchases necessary and making money for the NBA. So it's super important that you master your performance and your popularity. Today we're going to talk about the first thing on the 5-part series, anthropology. So what your ideal position is. I've collected data on over 4,000 NBA players. I've collected their weight, their height, and their weight to height ratio for each position. Alright, so the best way to learn is from example. We're going to take Max, and then we're going to use the 5 techniques that I want to teach in this 5-part video series. But my hopes are that you guys can kind of take the way we're doing this and cater it to you. So if you love basketball as much as I do, you want to figure out where you should be playing. You want to figure out what positions you should be playing and what metrics you should be working up to play at a high level. And I use the example of the NBA, but there are also other options. In North America, there's a G League, but also in Europe and China, there's other leagues that you can play in. And for example, in France, they have the regional league, they have the national league, and then they have the pro league. There are many opportunities to improve and go play at a high level. And I hope this 5-part video series will help you guys figure out what position you need to play at and what metrics you need to master in order to play at this high level. My name's Ashley, and I'm a Bay Area developer who loves basketball, and I want to use data analytics to help you guys figure out how you can get better at basketball. So stay tuned for those videos to come. Alright guys, so let's get started. As you can see here, I collected so much data from over 4,000 players. We have players even dating back from 1949 up to right now. And so let's get started. This is Python in a Jupyter notebook. I won't bore you with all the programming details. I just want to show you the results. As you can see here, I split up the data between the new generation and the older generation. I chose the new generation for everyone born after 1975. The reason why I chose 1975 is because I wanted to include Iverson and Kobe into the data set. And off the Basketball Reference website, these are the positions that they use in the player cards. So you have guard for G, you have guard forwards, you have forward guards, forwards, forward centers, center forwards, and centers. Alright, so let's get started into the new generation. So everyone born after 1975. We're going to start with height. So as we're going to use Max as an example, we're going to take his height. So his height is at 189 centimeters. And so if we look here, 189 centimeters, the mean is the average for a certain position. So it looks like here that Max, he would fall under a guard position. So it says here, for everyone born past the years of 1975, the mean height of an NBA basketball player, given the position of guard, is 191.7 centimeters. Alright, so we can also look at the range. So if you wanted to look at a range of 75% of the players, so 75% of the players that play in the NBA are between 187.96 centimeters to 205.74 centimeters. So Max's height is an ideal candidate for a guard. He's actually very close to the average height of a guard. What is an example of a guard that we like today? We can take Stephen Curry as an example, and I'm going to put his metrics up on the screen and do a player-by-player comparison with Max. Right here, you see that we have a box plot. We have our positions, our different types of positions on the left, and then we have the metrics at the bottom here. What I like to concentrate on the box plot is this line at the center of the rectangle, and then the left and right limits of the rectangle. So you can see that a guard would fall into the metrics I mentioned earlier. And it's really interesting to see here that the range of the height range for a guard is actually the largest between all the other positions. So for a guard forward, the forwards and the centers, it's really quite tight. So you need to be quite tall. So for example, a guard forward, they fall at around the 200 centimeter range, which if you're not born at that height, it's your chances of playing that position in the NBA are practically zero. However, if you're a shorter player, there is a chance that you can be a guard. And so you can see here that if we take Max for an example, he falls ideally in the position of a guard. And if we take Stephen Curry as an example, Stephen Curry is a point guard / shooting guard. So Max's ideal position, given his height, is a point guard or shooting guard. And this is super important because you want to understand what position you're right for, so you can understand what metrics you have to work towards. Alright, so next let's look at weight. Alright, again taking Max so Max weighs 195 pounds. Let's look at what position he would be ideal for given a certain weight. So Max is 195. Right here, the average weight of a guard is 195.9 pounds. So again, given his weight, he is actually perfect for this position. And if you want to look at 75% of the distribution of NBA players that exist, they weigh between 185 to 245 for a guard. And given the weight, you can see that the width of the rectangle is actually quite similar for all of them except for forward centers. And as you move down to the more taller positions, the weight actually gets bigger, which makes sense. Let's look to the weight to height ratio. What this means is you take your weight in pounds divided by your height in centimeters. If we look at Max, his weight to height ratio is around 1. And so given this, his ideal position again would be a guard. The guard is the closest thing to a 1. Yep. And so the range again for 75% of the players in the NBA are between 0.97 to 1.25. And up on the screen, I'm gonna put Max's weight to height ratio along with Stephen Curry, and I'm gonna put LeBron James in there as well. So he plays a different type of position, but he's actually a very popular player as well. And a lot of people aspire to kind of play like LeBron James. But with this video, I wanna help you guys figure out what your ideal position is. LeBron may not have the same genetics as you, and so it's important to choose the position that you have the genetics for. Alright, so I'm gonna wrap up the video here. I'm going to put up a table right here for the ranges for all the positions. So we use Max as an example, and we saw from his weight, his height, and his weight to height ratio that he would be an ideal candidate for a guard. Now that we know that he is ideal for the guard position, we have to look at his physical performance metrics and his technical metrics, and how he has to master them to be as good or even better than the NBA players right now. I didn't do the ranges for wingspan and standing reach. I did them for Max and Stephen Curry, But let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to do them for other positions. There's also another metric I like, which is body fat. Why I like body fat is because it's a metric you can look to figuring out what nutrition and physical goals you need to set for yourself in order to be the fastest, the strongest, have the best agility, have the best endurance for your given body type. And so on the NBA draft combine, I was able to get the body weight of the players when they first get into the NBA. I don't have them for example, Stephen Curry and LeBron right now, given their weight right now. But it's interesting to see that from the time that they started the NBA to right now, it's around almost 10 years, they've actually gained 10 pounds. And so if they stayed at the same body fat that they started with, this means that they gained about 10 pounds of muscle. And so this is actually really, really cool. And I think as a player starts from a young age and progresses throughout their career in basketball, it's important to understand what these metrics are, so it can help you train yourself to get better. Alright, so if you found this content interesting or even learned something new, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments section the one thing you learned from this video. This helps me understand what types of videos and what types of content I should be making for you. And I'm looking forward to doing the other 4 videos on physical performance, technical performance, finding mentors, and building your online presence to get noticed by the people that matter in the NBA. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.